Welcome back to the Brew Crew podcast, everyone. This is episode 253. Thank you for accommodating such a enormously complicated remote podcast, but man, it's just been like a trail of busy lives. And instead of doing a solo right before our very, very important annual huge event, which we'll talk about in great detail, it is the Advent calendar build. We decided to actually do a together podcast because I will be gone through the week. But times are changing, literally. We're an hour. What is it? Jump back? Spring ahead?
Fall back.
So we got some extra time here. Let's do this podcast. That's what we're doing now. Quick word to our listeners while you take notes, and we've already talked about this. Lots of confusion on Spotify. Let me clear it up right off the bat here because it's very important, and I want all of our YouTube listeners to know that if you're interested in listening on Spotify, we have to. There's just been a bunch of technical things that have happened. We had to start another Spotify podcast. This one has orange text that says audio and video. What happens is when you click on that podcast, it'll show the video, but you can minimize it and you can lock your phone and it'll continue to play the audio, just like how the Joe Rogan podcast does. It's video and audio. So the old Spotify link, that stopped updating in July because we stopped paying our service provider, who was only reason we were paying is because they streamed stuff to different sites. We didn't feel like it was worth it. So now took a lot of time, but now we're fully back on Spotify. So if you want to listen in your car and stuff without having your phone unlocked, you can do that now. Boom. We're all up to date. 252 is in there.
If you have questions, whether it be at gymnastics or a bar or whatever, I'm just going to forward all your questions to JT because I know this much.
Do it.
And I got harpoon and lambasted for all the right reasons. I should equally know, but I honestly don't. I'm the YouTube guy. Like,
the thing I felt most bad about is that you were getting it from one end of people who were like, it's not there. And you were getting it from my end where I was like, I refuse
both.
To submit
Multiple people.
that it is not there. It is there. It was there. It's just that they don't, like YouTube, if you go into YouTube and you started a new show, you could do it under the same channel. But the way that you do uploads on Spotify, it's not the same as YouTube where you can just start a new playlist or something. Totally different. So it had to be new. So you have to go to the search bar, search for the Brew Crew podcast. There's two thumbnails, one that has orange text in it and one that doesn't. Choose the one with the orange text. That's the most up-to-date podcast. And that will be updated each week from now on.
Is there a way that we could delete all the old ones and then, or are we still relying on the back catalog?
That's a good question, actually, that I hadn't considered. Originally, my intent was while I'm on my business trip, I was going to start looking at the Podbean. Podbean's the service that was passing it to Spotify. So we can't directly delete it from Spotify, but I was going to start looking into the Podbean architecture and figuring out how can I start deleting some of these streams. But you make a good point. Maybe the back catalog's worth keeping in there.
So
that goes from 100 to 230 something.
So I'm an idiot. I'm on Spotify right now and I'm in search. What do I search for?
Search for Brew Crew podcast. And you should get two results. Maybe not immediately, maybe somewhere on the list.
That's my mistake, folks. Don't drop the from your search. If you do the, it's going to give you a bunch of stuff. Just do really? Brew Crew podcast. Yes, I did it 5 different ways.
That's not your mistake. That is a mistake.
And the second one that comes up is the Brew Crew, like the logo that you're used to, audio and video over it. So I click on that. Again, I don't use Spotify. And yes, 252 is right on there.
Is right on there. And so some of the confusion was that I hadn't changed the thumbnail. So now that's different. So now there's a visual cue on which one you should select. And when you click on the podcast, it just has more up-to-date podcasts. So that's a kind of a tip too. Sorry for the confusion. I know it's confusing to everybody, but listen, after this is all settled, we're never going to remember that this ever happened. This was just a little hiccup in the time-space continuum.
That's the thing. And let's go ahead because we're going to get parched. Let's go ahead and crack our first beers because I need some. Oh, you're already drinking. I like it.
I had the Busch Light Apple, but it's not a review beer.
I'm going with for my first one, 450 North Spider and Goliath.
Excellent, excellent.
Because it's Sunday. We're recording this on a Sunday, and a fruit smoothie. This is a 5.3 percent strawberry kiwi fluff.
Ooh, that sounds good. I love kiwi. Before I tell you which beer I'm doing, so I just want to get that. I bought 3 beers, intended on giving 1 each to Matt. We met up, had dinner. It was lovely, but we forgot because the night got away from us. So I still feel like 2 of those beers are only going to be best had together. I don't want to ruin that dynamic of those 2 beers. So I have 1 of those, and then I still do have maybe 4 beers from when you were out of state. So I'm going to do 1 of those.
Awesome. I've been back from my deployment for 6.5 months.
So true. And I will not. I refuse to drink those beers off camera, and somehow I just keep forgetting to get on camera. So those beers are like in the fridge in a certain spot. When you came here for 250, I even said bottom left shelf off limits. That's where these are. So if you come over to my house, bottom left shelf off limits. But I'm gonna do Spruce Tipped Imperial IPA by Blacklist Brewing Company in Minnesota. I've been looking forward to this one. I remember watching that video, 3, 2, 1, and yeah, let's do it. So the next one, though, the next beer is going to be one I bought.
The interesting thing about all of this, and the one thing, because I knew we were going to start talking, and I was going to be parched because I didn't have a starter beer, was, and this is something I run into with a lot of technology and other things in life. When you do things only once in a while and you establish your best case practice, you give yourself too much credit. And when I say you, I'm not saying GT, I'm saying myself and the Chuggalos. You're like, I'm going to remember how to do this. And like today, folks, we had a bunch of technical difficulties. You guys don't care about it. I had to run a cord because I was getting terrible latency. I couldn't use the Stream Deck because we're using a different audio channel. So all of these things, like I know the answers to, but I was totally ill prepared. So it took us like a bunch of prep time to get everything situated. Really. I gave my future self too much credit.
Yeah, same with me. I gave my future self. I sat down with my iPad and my beer, and I was like, I'm ready.
Yep.
Well, even after Matt went through all the technical difficulties, I still had issues that I was unaware were gonna be the case. And then we almost got into a tit for tat on the Apple versus everybody else conversation. But we did it. It's all resolved. We're good now. I know there's a lot of strong opinions there, which I never really understood. But we don't have to talk about it because that's not beer. I will say though that this beer is really good.
My beer, unfortunately, is not very good. It's one of my more disappointing 450 ones I've had from them. Again, on Sunday morning, there's specific. I don't view like a strawberry kiwi as a desirable. I went out. I think I said this on 252. I went out and bought all of the taco party that I could find because a lot of that's going to be coming up north, or I want to keister it. Chuggalo Michelle was here Thursday, and she's like, give me whatever you want. And I was like, okay. I was going to give her an IPA, and I was like, you know what? No. I give her a taco party, and it blew her mind.
Party. It's blows my mind. It's a great beer. Yeah, that's phenomenal. You've been busy. What was I going to say? Oh, while we ruminate on the scores,
trying to get to focus.
I have a trivia question for you that's more about discussion than trivia.
Yeah.
When an industry such as the beer industry has gained hundreds of years of routine and dependency on kind of tradition.
Yeah.
When something like non-alcoholic craft beer starts to proliferate, what is an unanticipated consequence that you think could be, I guess, derived from that, from expecting beer to act like beer?
What is an unintended consequence in the proliferation of non-alcoholic beers?
Yes.
And
it's not about negligence as much as it is about we've been doing it this way for hundreds of years. And now non-alcoholic beer is being done similarly. So in the production process.
Oh, okay.
What are
So
the unintended consequences of the beer itself?
sure. So you could have somebody, especially like with hop water or something like that. Let's just go like somebody's a recovering alcoholic, but still enjoys the taste of it or whatever. Like you get together for a gathering and the recovering alcoholic wants to participate in said event still, and then just starts ripping into alcoholic beers thinking that they're non-alcoholic
That
beers.
could be a bad consequence. Well, a study from Cornell, that's actually a really good, very dark consequence. So Cornell University just studied a bunch of non-alcoholic beers and found that so if you were to keister them for 6 months, like I've done with Matt's beers,
Yeah.
they found that an increasing amount of E. coli has been present in non-alcoholic beer, and that's simply because there's no alcohol in those beers. And
No
so
alcohol to fight off the E. coli.
Exactly. So in cases where the alcohol sits in your fridge and doesn't ever really expire or get bad or develop bacteria, these non-alcoholic beers seem to be developing bacteria, especially in the form of E. coli. So be careful.
Interesting.
Beers. You don't want to get sick. E. coli is a fucked up thing, right? It can cause dehydration through diarrhea, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of advantages to cellaring beer that I do, and a lot of them is that they mature or whatever, but it's because that balance with whatever adjuncts or ingredients you have in there with the alcohol. So
Yeah.
I guess the takeaway here is if you have a non-alcoholic beer, it's important that you drink that fresh.
Drink it fresh.
Within the first 3 months, I'm guessing. I'm just going to throw out an arbitrary date. I would have never have guessed that.
Yeah, me neither. So I found that and I did come across the Arche story as well. And I had written that down as a story to talk about, but then I couldn't do last week's podcast. So anyway, thanks for talking about it.
What dollar amount? You just looked it up. What dollar amount are they at?
So apparently they're looking for 2.4 million or 2.3 million. They are at, in this story, which I can look up the date of information, it looked like they were at about $8,100.
Okay, so I'm gonna look it up right. I thought you
this was published and updated on November 2nd.
I thought you had just looked it up too, but I mean, this is the benefit of having this. I just want to see what they're at. So they're at 16,000 right now.
Oh, that's good. So double what that was.
So since our last recording in 6 days, the last I looked at it was at 2,800. Okay. We're not gonna get into because Arche is revered and everything on this.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get into ifs, ands, or buts about it. But again, like I said, get out there and support them if you're able, even from afar. I know we're more Southwest Ohio, and this is a Northeast Ohio. But again, great product. Multiple locations, which I didn't know about. And again, thanks again to Chuggalos Stev for tipping me off to that. But Arche has some amazing incentives in there. If you want to go check that out, GoFundMe, Arche Brewing.
I do want to check that out. Now, I don't have an enormous amount of money to give Arche, but I have had enough pleasant beer from them that I would consider giving some money, but it wouldn't be a lot.
It wouldn't be life-changing, no.
It would be like a Bernie Sanders amount, you know? Yeah. It's the $1 to $5 range that really gets the ball moving for those politicians. Hopefully that's the case for Arche.
And they have a bunch of different tiers or whatever. To me, though, like, and I feel like we can comfortably talk about this because there's other people I was talking with that it's almost like they're looking for like a corporate or not a buyout because he still wants to do it, but like they want somebody big, like an angel investor to come in and be like, hey, because he's not offering shares of the business, rather incentivizing, gold goblet with your name engraved on it, for drinks for half off for the rest of the year. But
I would say it'd be a good investment for somebody with a lot of money. But yeah, I think just maybe a buyout even, but with some sort of clause that he stays, like when Facebook bought Instagram, something like that.
And it's on there. You could check it out. I think the largest tier is a $5,000 tier. So.
Okay, well, he's not looking for $1 million investment. So.
No, I mean, because he did call JT, and JT goes, I have a lot in my drum kit right now. Don't put your nutsack on my drum kit.
Yeah, never do that. Never ever do that. Go ahead.
The other thing, this was going to be a hard stop. So yesterday I was sitting here. So where I am in space and time, the wife and kids left for the weekend. So I was able to take JT out for dinner because I lost a bet and I wanted to get that off my books. And as he talked about, it's awesome. We got to go to Crooked Handle. We got to have some amazing wings, conversation, wide ranging, just catching up in life.
Yeah.
So that night I ding dong ditched a buddy with a beer. I put a beer on his front door, waved, sent a video. So I thought that was hilarious. Got back home. But yesterday, so hanging out, just doing stuff around the house. I got a doorbell. Ding dong. And I could tell by the cut of the people I brought up my Ring doorbell that it wasn't someone that I wanted to answer. JT, who do you think these people were?
I think these people were religious converts.
Nailed it. Religious. I'm gonna give you the point. They did a door hanger with batteries, 9-volt batteries, because anytime you turn your clocks back, you're supposed to check or change your batteries. So they left a 9-volt battery or whatever. But it was a good it was a good no answer. The dog got to bark at them.
Definitely good no answer. Oh, I can't stand it. Not that it's the religious part. It's I just don't want to be talked at my door.
Nope.
Like I'm at home relaxing. If I'm at home, I'm either working on home stuff or I'm relaxing. Neither of those 2 points in time do I want to be spoken to about a topic I was not expecting to be spoken to about.
It's clever though. I like, a nice little door hanger. They're graphic with the battery glued to it or whatever. So inoffensive, they still left it there. Clever. I'm going to give them clever.
We get a lot of magazine salesmen at our house, magazine.
They still do that?
I can't believe they do it. We have a no soliciting sign. I'm going to actually get a no magazine sales sign for I'm so sick and tired of people pretending to sell magazines. You're not saving money for college. You're like 56. Maybe you are.
I think my sister's, so no solicitation, no proselytization, and I forget the other one. I think there was 3 on there.
Smart. I got to get more signs for my door.
Right.
Bugged.
It's especially your neighborhood. They're coming after the money. They're like, these people have money for magazines.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and they know all the names. Oh, your neighbor there, James. He and it's not my neighbor's real name, by the way. He bought 2 magazines. I'm like, no, he didn't. No fucking way did my neighbor buy these magazines.
The bug and pest people do that. They're like, oh, we do like 5 of your neighbors. We do Tom, Dick, and Harry. There's no Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like.
I will say, after spending this 2023 without the bug service,
yeah,
it was worth having. It was worth having.
What did you know, like a penetration into your house or just outside of your house?
Outside. Well, stink bugs get in, and I can't fucking stand it. But outside, the mosquito bites were absolutely crazy. And we got a puppy in the spring, so I'll sit outside for an hour at a time while the puppy plays outside, and I'll just get eaten alive, just crazy. And that never used to happen. So might have to eat the cost of that. I don't know. It was
all right. I want to come off the top rope. This one's going to be short and sweet. 450 North, Spider versus Goblin. We talked about this on episode 246 about like their superhero or whatever. Obviously, it's supposed to be Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin.
Spider-Verse.
Well, they have like Lex versus Clark and stuff like that. Off the top rope, this is the Kiwi is too much, the fluff, whatever. But it's I understand where they're trying to go with it. Strawberry and Kiwi are natural bedfellows, and they do quite well. I don't want this in my beer. It's probably one of the least favorable 450 North beers I've ever had. Off the top rope, 375.
Not good. 375 on a low.
It's very earthy. It's like earthy in my yeah.
That's definitely the theme of this beer that I have. Man, I love kiwi, and I think an excess of it would be pretty good. But I wonder if this is too sweet or what. I'd have to try it to know. So Spruce tipped Imperial IPA, as you can expect. Earthiness is a quality of this beer, but it's not a sour, so more expected than it would be in a sour. This is 9.5%, and the only unappealing aspect of this beer is that you can taste pretty much all 9.5% of that.
Buddy.
There's a huge booze aftertaste. There's also, in the liquid itself, there's a booze kind of that sits on the tongue, and it's not particularly appealing. However, the nose is really good on this beer. It has that earthy flavor, and I mean, you could definitely tell that this is an Imperial IPA. It's pretty dank. The Can Art Boner segment, and I don't know if we want to hum the tune, but here it is. So Spruce,
I'm lost without my Stream Deck.
Do you think that the Spruce that's being shown here are under some sort of spectral transformation?
It does look like our relief from our geography days. It looks like a relief map.
Like a relief map. So it's not just like a photorealistic more. So there's other colors there. But that's the can art. So it's just Spruce in the background. I like all this stuff here. That's really great. Different flavor profiles, what kind of glass you should drink it out of. Serve slightly chilled. Okay, well, maybe it would get better if I heated it up. If you're ever up north, swing by the tap room. All right.
I've swung by that tap room.
Yeah? How was it?
Good times.
Good times. This beer, I mean, I don't think I could drink multiples of these. It's very good, and I think the execution's perfect. But maybe not perfect, but the beer is just, it's not blowing my mind or anything. So, I mean, I'm giving this a 3.75, but it's a high 3.75. It's like, yours was 3.75, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yours was undesirable. Mine's a desirable 3.75, just because of, like, I just don't think that the flavor profiles in this beer could get me to just run to the store and buy it. So no offense to, what is it? Blacklist. But it's a good beer. You did well. It's just, I'll have one and then I'll move on with my life.
It was really good when I bought it 11 months ago.
A lot of Anchorage beers are like that, where it's like, this beer is perfectly executed, but I don't want another one. Or as I like to call it, the Passion of the Christ situation. Great movie, I never want to see it again.
Yeah, you only need to experience it once.
Exactly, and that's what this beer. Not to compare those two things, but that's what this beer is.
All right, oh, man, I keep screwing up. Are you ready for beer number 2?
Yeah, ready for beer 2.
Okay, I'm excited for this.
For you too, as well. So
I am going to the IPA land too.
Sweet.
I am doing Equilibrium.
Ooh.
Mosaic Function Triple IPA, and I will go in. This is the first time we've done Equilibrium, so I'm going to go into a website review after I get it cracked.
As well, but I didn't. I am going to do Fifth Frame, which is the first time we've done them, so I'll look at their website. Bath Bomb, fucking can art is amazing, and I'm hoping that the beer tastes like what the can art looks like, because it looks delicious. Bath Bomb, and it is just so you know what it is.
Yeah.
A heavily fruited sour with watermelon, blackberry, and blueberry.
So it's interesting. We inverted our.
Yeah.
What's the AB? What's the ABV on that one, bro?
The ABV on this one, I believe, is 5, but don't write it down. It's 6.0.
6.0. Mine's a 10.
Ooh, shit. Yeah, so this
10.
one was 9.5. And yours, yeah, so we did. We inverted.
Call out the crack, buddy.
Like an innie and an outie. Ready? Y'all. Oh, mine's primed like really good. Mine's not.
Now it is.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, man, this blew up.
Ooh.
Your shit.
Smells like a forest where it just rained. While JT's doing that, I want to talk about Equilibrium. So Equilibrium is out of Middletown, New York. You can find out more by going to eqbrew.com, eqbrew.com. I used to play a game that went by EQ. It's called EverQuest. But this is eqbrew.com. And if you go to our About Us, it's just short and concise. So I'm just going to read it verbatim from the website. Equilibrium is an independently owned and craft brewery with a tap room, beer garden, barbecue program, and retail space in Middletown, New York. Our vision to make the best beer in the world based on MIT-trained scientific principles, a love of craft beer, and a love of community, and an absolute hatred for the Chicago Cubs. That's interesting that they would just come.
Why would they say that being from New York? No one
It's
cares
crazy.
about Cubs in New York.
Mark Grace is the worst baseball. No, wow, they go deep. No, we
He's
brew.
not the worst.
we brew what we want to drink and share this with you. We believe the right craft beer turns ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. I like that. Alcohol just genuinely does that, though. Experience equilibrium, beer balanced by science. I like that. Beer balanced by science.
I do like that.
This is a little bit too like hoity-toity for me, though. Like I do like MIT. You need to put MIT because there's like if you have a degree from MIT or Johns Hopkins or Yale or like there's a resonance with it. Like you can slap it out on the table, and I'm not even going to be bothered by it. You've earned it.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks. I appreciate that. I don't brew beer though, but MIT, yeah, great school.
Whoa. How I don't understand how that applied to you. Maybe we need to edit this out.
Really? You don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, you do. You're gutting me. But I appreciate the name drop.
Yeah.
I'm having like a palate issue here, so
that's why you should have done the sour first.
Yeah,
I'm glad we do. We've talked about this many a time.
I know, and I thought about it. I did think about it, and I thought, no, this IPA will be fine to drink first. Fuck, like. This beer, like right now, I can't. This is undrinkable, but I feel like it's not an undrinkable beer. So I'm just looking around trying to figure out. Maybe a Mountain Dew would help me cleanse the palate. I have no idea. I need to cleanse the palate. I don't think water's gonna do it.
I can dance a little bit if you need me to.
How can I? What do you think I can do to?
Just talk it out. Do you have any of your Blapple? Do you have any of your Blapple left?
Blapple left, so I've been sipping on it.
Swish your Blapple around. While we're trying to buy JT time, because I've already talked about the website. I could talk a little bit about the beer. We need to talk about the Advent calendar. JT, how many Advent calendars do we have built right now?
16.
16. JT's doing pretty good with numbers. We actually lost somebody, so we're at 15. But
sorry to see you go.
Again, well, that's Stev. So I told Stev that he's on the hook for 7. So
but not Stev himself. Just Stev has lost one of the calendars. But
yeah,
Stev will be a part of it.
Yeah, Stev will be there. Yeah. So I anticipate this number still to fluctuate, but as long as I've told Sarah and I go, if you guys need a hard drop that date, like let's say Monday or Tuesday, I go do it that way. I could do it that way. But like if we can plus or minus the day of, because I know it's going to be like last year and people are going to try to get back to me. The problem is that I might run out of room. I might not be able to take, like there's people waiting and I got to see if I can fit more in the car. And I know that you'll know by buying it. It's just one of those spatial reference things that I have to think about.
What an interesting day that would be if you got pulled over and your trunk was searched and you just had cases and cases of mixed different beers, like not even cases of the same beer.
There's laws. Indiana's a rough state when it comes to alcohol. I mean, it's not like this is thousands of dollars of beer that is going to be transported. Mm-hmm. Like there are tax and they're low. It's like winning the lottery. Anything in the state of Ohio over 600, you have to pay taxes on. In Wisconsin, it's $11.99 is the magical number. But there's like, even if you transport liquor through some of these states, I understand that's not, my argument is going to be personal consumption. Like if that does happen.
Yeah. Good argument. That's a lot to personally consume.
But I've told the story to people and people have like looked it up and like Indiana's the problem.
It might be the beer. But I do want to show this.
It is Bath Bomb. There you go. Ooh.
Online ordering now available. Are you old enough? Yerp and Nerp. I like that.
That is a sharp looking phone, by the way. That is like, because like I do mine, like yours is like that's clear.
I like it. Brand new iPhone.
See, look at that. That's a little inception there for you.
Oh man, look at that. I can almost see myself in that. Oh, there it is. Oh, now, and then you look at my glasses, there's a reflection of the screen, and there's a reflection of the reflection. Man, it is Inception.
Inception.
All right, this beer tastes like vomit, and it's going to be very hard to get through. I thought it was the IPA, but I think it's the beer. And I was really excited. This beer was $30, so it's up there with the likes of 450 North.
So $30 for a 4-pack?
For a 4-pack, yeah. I don't see why it would taste like this. Like the watermelon shouldn't do that.
Maybe the fine people at Fifth Frame.
Yeah.
Maybe a bowling reference. Maybe they reach out to us like Jim Klein and they're like, "Hey, do you have any numbers on this or whatever?" And then, but where's Fifth Frame out of?
Fifth Frame is out of New York, Rochester.
So 2 New York beers and a juxtaposition of flavors.
And they're gonna love this. They're gonna love. Hey, I'm walking here. Gabagoo. They love. New Yorkers love hearing that.
Well, this is Rochester, so a little bit different, but.
Oh, a little different. It's more up north, right?
Western. Rochester is Western New York. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about New York except where Buffalo's at. Yeah, Fifth Frame. I wonder what that name is.
Bowling, probably.
Yeah, probably.
That is the beer frame.
Oh, that's the beer frame. Yeah. Look at you. So smart. They have a club. It's called the Crispy Club.
Yeah.
But after this, I'm not sure I want to be a part of it.
Rochester's equidistant between from Buffalo and Syracuse. It's right in the middle. It's right on the lake. More normal people, I think, than the "Hey, I'm walking here" folks. Those people are crazy. You get a numbered keychain if you join the Crispy Club. You get a mug for the bar, and I brought this up on Monday. I love breweries with memberships. Make me feel belong. And even if I only come there 2 or 3 times a year, they're getting a price point, and I feel like I'm getting a deal. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not too analyzing, racking, and stacking. Yeah. I agree. I think the clubs are cool if you like going to the same place a lot. I like mixing it up. So I'd rather have like a Dayton Ale Trail club. That'd be cool. Get a mug for the Ale Trail before you finish the Ale Trail. Yeah. And as long as you have the mug in agreed upon discount. Right. Yeah. So in this case, if you have the mug for the Fifth Frame Club, the Crispy Club, you get $3 mugs, $3 fill-ups. Yeah. $4 crispy pours every day. I don't know what that means. And $5 weekday pours, $1 off weekends. And certain exclusions apply, like Imperials and fruited beers. Interesting. So IPAs basically is what you get. $10% discount on merch, and you get a birthday beer. That's cool. I do like the birthday beer gimmick. Birthday beer is cool. Cool. So they have a club. And that's Fifth Frame Brewing. And their website is basically written in a text document. Like open up Notepad on your computer and it's written like that. I think that's intentional. Because there's maps and stuff in there. So it's not like it's just all written in a Notepad. But the entry page, I love that. When I ask my son questions now, he answers Europe when it's yes. And that's pretty constant. So it was a nice little touch. I'm checking out the website right now. I like it. Yeah, it's decent. It's built in a row house. The crispy. House. Yeah, almost not a brownstone because a brownstone has steps on it, very New York style, but it's almost a row house. Okay. I'd love to travel back in time and see buildings back in the 1700s, but everyone smelled back then. That's what you don't see in the history books is how bad it smelled. Yeah. They're only open till 10 o'clock on Fridays. Dude, they're not on Sunday. They're only open from 12 to 5. This is crazy. These hours are crazy. They're only open till 10. I don't know. Maybe there's a drinking law there or something, but like, and granted, we don't stay out that late, So I say it, but
are not really open late like that.
breweries aren't.
Like what craft breweries are open later than that?
Yeah, now I'm going to get destroyed because I can't name one.
I think
when's Warped Wing close?
Warped Wing, I think, closes at 10-ish.
Brewing Project is midnight. Warped.
Oh, midnight.
Wing.
Let's see. We're gonna do some live.
Interesting.
Googling. Live Googling.
Yeah, Warped Wing's 8:00. Holy crap.
Yeah, and
they're 10:00. Okay, on Friday they're open till midnight. Friday and Saturday they're open till midnight.
All right. Oh, okay. There we go.
Makes sense. Defensible.
It is.
You'll never catch me out that late, especially like a lot of these places for the higher grav stuff. Man, I am with the Murderer's Row of my next week going up north. Oh, the high grav stuff. Man, it's not a battle, it's a war, that's for sure.
Yeah. You got to drink those early. Sober up. Yeah. Or drink them right before bed and just sleep the dizziness away.
Right.
Wake up nice and hungover.
Oh, that's the worst, especially with that drive.
One beer, one water. One beer, one water. It's the best way to do it.
I try to.
Yeah.
Everyone goes into the evening with that plan, and hardly ever does it get executed that way.
Yeah. If I went to college now, I thought about this recently. After, there's been some bad sexual experiences that have turned into legal issues for college kids, all around the country. And whether or not consent was given, I don't want to talk about a specific case, but I think what I would do if I went to college now is I would only drink out of cans, and I would fill it with water after I drank the first beer. Then I could party and have fun, but I wouldn't get drunk. And that way I don't make any mistakes.
A lot of bars back home wouldn't give you the can, so because they make their percentages were higher on tap beer.
Bars, sure. You'd have to probably, you can't fake it, or you could nurse a beer, but like at a frat party, I think you'd there you buy the cup though. Yeah.
So a lot of people would show up, like I would just keep like a red Solo cup with me. But then a lot of people, like at the entrance, you had to buy the $5 cup.
Well, buying the cup, I would be fine with buying the cup, so I could be a part of the party, have a beer, have a good time.
The problem though is it's one keg and it's 50 people trying to drink.
I think you feel it's just the pressure of drinking when you're in college. You're like, I have to be a part of this. So at least in that regard, I could, because I'm older now and I have hindsight, I could be a part of the experience, but be faking it. And then I won't get in trouble. I think there's just too many ways to get in trouble in 2023. Whereas in 2003 and 4, it was like, shit, man, everyone was hammered.
I was still getting to the point where, like, for a lot of those parties, I would show up with my own 6-pack.
I'm going to sneeze.
That's what content. Great content. Give it a third. Send it.
Yeah, so that's a thought I had. I'll probably tell my sons, do that. Don't get too drunk ever. Don't get blackout drunk. You're gonna wind up getting kicked out of school.
How old's your oldest?
16, almost.
Yeah,
16.
I was drinking pretty good amounts at that age already.
Hopefully that's not the case for him at this current moment. I don't think it is, because he's very serious about baseball, but I'm sure it'll happen, but hopefully not until college.
Well, yeah, but then I feel like, in my defense, I feel like I was better prepared. Man, I'm screwing up the auto resolution. I think it's the lighting, but because it doesn't do it when I'm on my single episodes. I don't know. Like, I try to refocus it, but yeah, see, it doesn't work. Time for a new camera, even though this one's only 18 months old.
I think it's time for a Apple product.
No, it's not. It never. I do have an Apple product right here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
dumb enough to take
I
into
bet
the building.
camera on that thing would be awesome if it had one.
Yeah, good thing it doesn't, because that's what I needed. I needed to be dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go off the top rope with this beer. This beer.
Go off the top rope.
I mean, this beer is a 0.25.
Wow, worst beer of the year.
Undrinkable. It literally is vomit. It is the taste of vomit, and
Yeah.
I've cleansed the palate. I've given this beer the benefit of the doubt because of the price, because of their what appears to be affinity for fruited beers. The can art is good. It's a bath bomb. I showed it. I don't think we really even need to do a full segment. It's basically what a bath bomb, multicolor bath bomb, looks like in water.
I swear we've seen that before. I want to say that I've had that beer.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Or that can.
This beer is very, very not good. It is. I don't know if it's the lack of maybe other elements like lactose or something, or if it's just something's messed up. Maybe it's just bad. Maybe it's a bad beer. But
they have a whole line of those beers, JT. They have like
a whole line of them. Yeah, there was 4 at Arrow when I was there. I chose that one because of the can art. Horrible decision. Yeah, 0.25. It's very, very not good. I hope that if Fifth Frame is watching, I'm not. We don't try to shit on breweries, but we're honest about things. If there's a redeeming quality about this beer and you've never heard that it tasted like vomit, I'm willing to give it another shot, but not today.
So
this is bad. This is about as bad of a beer as I could have.
JT, before I left for Africa, I had a bath bomb mango pineapple.
Oh, okay.
And I put a lot more chemical than I expected, really thick too. And that was the only Fifth Frame beer I've had.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought this was a first for us.
No, it wasn't on the podcast. It was just in life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's bad. It's a bad beer.
It's not good.
0.25. That's it. Off the top rope.
Awesome. Okay, so my beer from Equilibrium, again, Mosaic Function, triple IPA, 10%, which I appreciate. It's more of a West Coast, so it's more of an acrid, alpha acid forward type beer. Off the top rope, I get a 4.25. Couldn't crush a lot of these, though. My palate, I'm grasping for hydration on the palate. It's not coming anytime soon, but I still like it because I knew getting into it with a triple, it's going to be a little bit more dank. And it's going to be something I enjoy. But yeah, so I'm excited for it. I would drink it. I would drink it again.
You want to flash the can one more time? Oh,
sure. I just reloaded my camera.
Oh yeah, I love this can. The F of X function, very cool. I like it. Is that hops? I can't see it too close.
Yeah, it's hops.
That's awesome. Great can art. Great can art for the MIT folks out there. Man, you should have made the equation harder.
Geniuses.
Made it real. Made it of something. And yeah, so segue here.
Segue, nice.
A little bit about relatability of the podcast, and I've been thinking about that. It really resonated with me. How can we do more beers that more people have access to? And one idea that you had was that we save some and some lucky listeners get it occasionally. And then maybe when they know they have the beer, they wait to listen until they receive it. Another solution that I thought of was, how is it that we would ever know what's accessible in certain places? And I don't know that we'll ever be able to accommodate everybody, but if you leave, this is the perfect comment for YouTube. Leave a comment on YouTube of what beers you think we should try that you have access to. And then at least each episode, somebody's satisfied. Because we'll never run out of beer to get in Ohio. There's tons of beer and they'll always just have new beers. But yeah, a lot of our listeners can't access it. So there's one option where we buy beer from Ohio and send out those extra 2 that are in the 4-packs, or it's a 6-pack, we send out 4. Or you tell us what to buy, and then you get yourself one, we'll go out and grab the 2 for us. I think it makes it more accessible to the states that people listen in, I think.
We get very we think about this all the time, and it's almost like the chicken and the egg scenario. It's like, well, are we are people listening because we're turning them on to specific beers, or is it our social commentary on sports, wrestling, the world, or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it depends on when you ask me. Like, I would really love to be able to buy 16 cans of it. JT and I have 2, and then we send 14 off.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it would take like flat packing it that's just a large undertaking. It's something we would love to do, though, to create that commentary. And that's why the Advent calendar is so awesome. And I know that's why we get so many people to participate and to make videos, and that we give access to the website and to update that stuff, because they feel embraced by the community. And that's really what it is. It was just us talking, and then, we found a voice a little bit, and, now we have people that we weren't linked to previously before we started the podcast in 2018 that now we're linked to.
Yeah, exactly. And there's great content. You guys, the Chuggalos, put out great, refreshing content that kind of changes the pace a little bit. That's what's so great about the Advent calendar.
Yep.
So, and that could be a benefit too. If we get more accessible beers, we could maybe accept videos of the Chuggalos drinking and put them either on YouTube or maybe put them on Facebook and Instagram, something like that. That'd be cool. I thought about it. So
yeah, we do. People like put stuff on Google Share. So I have to download it the next day and then upload it or whatever. But it's always great because I liked watching them. And really, that's what beer is, the conversation. And it's nice to have that commonality with people and to be able to, like, this is what we all thought about the same beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome.
It truly is remarkable. I desire December 26th when I don't have to have a beer, though.
Oh, yeah. December's a tough month for beer drinking. But I actually gave Steph access to the website. As long as he never accidentally clicks delete episode, he's been good about it so far. So I used to download them.
Yep.
And then post them myself, but he does it now, which is really helpful. So anyway, you got any section 3?
Section 3. No, just Advent calendar. This one's going to be up a day early. Next week, I'm still unsure because Monday, next Sunday, I will be driving 12 plus hours and dropping off calendars along the way. But we'll see. It might be a solo, for sure, a solo episode or 2 solo episodes or whatever.
I might do a solo episode for Monday, so Matt doesn't have to worry about it.
I always say, and maybe I'll do one during the week or whatever, because there's going to be an embarrassing amount of exchanges going on, even on and off camera, outside of the calendar. So we'll have to see. But there will be content coming. Please believe me. It's just that time of year. We're just getting there.
We are getting there. Well, I think that's it. Thanks for watching episode 253. 253. Sorry. I knew there was a 3 in there. That's what I was thinking about.
Nailed it.
See ya.